Hello, hello. I just have an idea about a build, but I'm not sure what to do because I am not a build creator. I'm just a 1,000-hour Andy. So just thought I'd share the framework with people and see where that gets me. So my build idea is Phantasmal Might Exsanguinate. Why Phantasmal Might? Where is the Phantasmal Might from? Well, from the new reliquarian Ascendancy. On the second node, you see that we have the Phantasmal Might out of the Black Cane. Essentially, you get around 62 phantasms with all the stuff, and you get about 4,000 added damage, which is pretty insane. Plus, because you're using phantasms, you get benefits of not here. Umbrella Army. 2% increased movement speed per 7 phantasms. So you get about 124 increased movement speed just from the phantasms, which is pretty insane and pretty good for mapping. So then why Exsanguinate? I thought of a bunch of other skills that might work with this added flat damage. Obviously, a simple thing to do is just look at added effective damage or added damage effectiveness on spells. A lot of them are kind of shit, like Firestorm has a ton of it, but it's kind of not a good mapping build, so people don't use it, I think. Another spell I was looking at was like the new Mana Infused Staff. It has a 450%, which is pretty nice. Divine Retribution has like something around like, I don't forget, like 300 to 500, which is pretty decent as well. But all of them kind of feel whatever, and I ended up thinking maybe Exsanguinate. I've been thinking about playing Exsanguinate for a couple leagues now, but never actually bit the bullet to do it, even though it's super good, especially the mine version, because I just had other builds to do at the time. But now we have this. Why Exsanguinate? Flat damage is super important. I think previously people tried to scale it with gem levels, which is valid, but this Phantasmal Might thing gives us way more damage than what you could get from scaling gem levels. And the other reason I was thinking about Exsanguinate is Beta's Pact. Beta's Pact, this new change, gives us like a ton of chaining, which is something we actually really want for our Exsanguinate. Plus, it gives you like more damage. So, defense for this build. I'm thinking currently that we just do block chance with a bunch of like the nodes that give you block chance for staff. Plus, the new Mana Infused Staff gives you, I forget, it is 24% more chance to block attack and spell damage, which is pretty good, and that's why we can get block cap. Also, Exsanguinate in general, if you like convert to cold, is pretty good at just defending you in general because you freeze everything. One thing I was not sure about was if I'm forced to use Herm Sorrow, because this definitely will get everyone to freeze, but I don't know if using haste is also enough to freeze if you have enough damage. I have no idea. I would hope that this is true and I can just use hatred, but I mean, if I have to use Herm Sorrow, like I'll be sad, but I'm sure you could like squeeze stuff around to make this work. Ignore the Precursor Emblem, by the way. I was just trying to do plus one maximum power charges and I got lazy. This is definitely inflating the damage, but we can probably, it's like 500 less damage, maybe like not even that much if you use power charge, if you like put in like an actual ring. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I think the defense layer should be good. Like you just freeze everything, and if something for some reason happens to attack you and you haven't frozen it, then hopefully it gets blocked by the block chance, otherwise you get hit. Our effective hit pool is definitely not that big, but I'm hoping that basically we'll be able to, I mean, it's a softcore build, right? We don't have to tank like an insane damage like every single time. Like we can die like once or twice if our block chance fails. I think it's fine. There is like the other way of doing it. We do have the Soul Rest, which does give you a bunch of life regen. So if you like increase your total life pool, then maybe it's like also valid to just use that as an extra defensive layer, but I don't know if we really need to do that, and I don't know if we can do that anyways because we are kind of limited at this point. I think the damage layer is going to be pretty decent. In terms of how much damage we can actually do with this, I kind of just threw stuff into increased crit, basically. That's part of the reason why I have power charges, just so I can get like 100% crit chance. I don't know how good this is gonna be, honestly. I think the other option is like we just get a bunch of like increased damage for spell for physical damage, and it might be decent. But like, I mean, like crit is like the end game thing, right? So this is probably like as much damage as we can get from this build, unless there's like some weird like interaction I have no idea about. So yeah, I have like a bunch of increased crit here. One thing I will note is I have the stupid node. Oh, this node I don't think doesn't do much, but I had this stupid node where enemies are full on life. I don't know if this is actually like a good thing to do. But like even if I remove it, right, it's like 94. It's like not the worst thing in the world. I just kind of clicked it because I have no idea if this is actually valuable in like actual play or not. What else? One of the big issues we have if you don't use Volatile Dead for Summon Phantasm is the fact that how are we going to maintain it? I am currently thinking Corpse Walker into Greater Devour, and that should be enough for mapping. It's probably like, I have no idea how you would solve this in not maps. I think the best answer is probably you just socket in like Summon Phantasm like here. And just do this probably. Reap as well. It's like whatever. It's not the worst thing in the world probably to do. I don't know if you can maintain max stacks, but I'm kind of thinking of this as like a mapping build anyways. So, or more specifically, I'm thinking of this as like a build to use on the new league mechanic, which is kind of Heist 2.0. So that's the reason why I'm not too worried about it. Honestly, I don't know if this is even a good idea. We might have to do this anyways, because you won't be able to have like the phantasms until you start consuming corpses, which is kind of hard to do until you have Greater Devour, right? Like if you have Greater Devour instead of Summon Phantasm, then in the beginning you won't be able to kill anyone. Which is kind of the same thing with Summon Phantasm, but you can get this for rare monsters, so that's the reason why I was considering it. I don't know, surely you can kill like the white mobs like with Greater Devour and like start stacking, right? Surely. Because like, what is like the Writhing Jar? I don't know if you can like sustain it enough with like 62 Summon Phantasms. Like you're not gonna get that. Like you have to use like so many of Writhing Jars just to like get that. I don't know. So that's kind of up in the air, honestly. So like, how can you like generate it in the beginning? Like once you like get a bunch of Summon Phantasm, I think it's fine. But I'm still kind of working that out. But I feel like there's probably like a tech somewhere you can do. Like worst case scenario, you have like an extra socket that has Desecrate and then like Spell Echo of Volatile Dead, right? And then you just like spam it a few times in the beginning of map and just map, which is a little annoying, but like I'm willing to do it. Oh, one last thing to talk about is what do you want to put for the first Ascendancy? And I am currently thinking about actually using Val Caress. People have talked about using Dawnbreaker because it's just like a super good node, but like we don't really have like a big hit pull anyways, and we're kind of relying on freeze and block chance, so I don't know if I really want to do this in the first place. Like I feel like it's not going to be as good on this build compared to other builds. This is definitely nice, but I feel like you can get I don't know if it's that important to get this. Comparatively, Onslaught is actually super nice because you can get Val Haste and just press it every like 20 seconds and you just get Onslaught. Not to mention that Val Haste itself gives you like movement speed. So now like you just have like Val Haste, Lycia Bloodline, like Boots, 25% on Corpse Walker, Onslaught, and you just have like 200% 9 movement speed modifier. Boom. So yeah, that's the shell of what I'm working at. I'm like kind of like messing around with the tree, being horrible at build crafting, but I think this is gonna work. Like even in the worst case scenario, I feel like this is gonna like not be like a horrible build. So I might just pull the trigger and league start it, but we'll see. Please let me know in the comments if you know of a way to make this build better, because I'm sure there are a ton of ways to make this build better. Like even now I see like I can probably just do this and ignore this path. And probably do this as well, I think. Yeah. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'll put the POB link in the thingy magic down below, and happy league start. I might update this video, I might not. It's kind of the random video I just made to get some help. Bye.